Okay, let's continue. We'll study angles of a triangle. So, an example. So, consider two parallel lines. So, these are parallel lines, and consider a line which cuts both of them. Okay. Now, in this situation, note the equality of angles. So, we have two parallel lines and a line cutting through both of them. So, we have equality of these two angles, right? Intuitively. So, these two angles are equal, hence we in fact have this. So these two angles are equal, and because they are parallel, and this angle is further equal to this angle. So hence we have these three angles are equal, especially especially these two angles are equal. So this is a result which we'll use frequently in geometry. So it's useful to keep in mind that if we have two parallel lines and a line cutting both of them, then you have these two angles are equal and similar relations between angles. Okay. So our original goal was to study the angles of a triangle, right? So we'll go ahead with that. Consider a triangle ABC. So we can ask, is there a relation between the angles at A, B, and C? So if we have a triangle, is there a relation between the angles at the vertices? So you have some generic triangle. So what is there a relation between the angles at A, B, and C? So we'll study that. Answer. So given this triangle ABC, you can construct a line through A parallel to BC. Then we have this diagram. So you have this generic triangle. We have this generic triangle, and okay, wait. And we are constructing a line through A parallel to BC. Now we see some relations. So for example, the measure of the angle at B, this measure of the angle at B is same as this one. This is anyways measure of the angle at A, and the measure of the angle at C, this is same as this. But note that hence the measure of the angle at A plus the measure of the angle at B plus the measure of the angle at C, these three should add up to 180 degrees. Hence, measure of the sum of the angles at the vertices should add up to 180 degrees. So from this diagram we see that the sum of the angles of the triangle must add up to 180 degrees. Hence the sum of the angles in a triangle is 180 degrees. So we'll write this as an observation. Angles in a triangle. Consider a triangle ABC, then angle at A plus, so measure of the angle at B plus the measure of the angle at B plus the measure of the angle at C. This is equal to 180 degrees. So yeah, this is the basic relation between the angles of in any triangle. Right. So that's all for this part. See you in the next part.